It's a story that's captured the nation's attention. Sisters Jaime and Gladys Scott will be released from prison after spending years there for an $11 armed robbery.
The phone call Gladys Scott has been waiting 16 years to receive finally came Wednesday evening after Mississippi's Governor Haley Barbour issued an order indefinitely suspending the sentence for her and her sister Jaime Scott.
And so we're real happy about what's happened, and I think the governor did the right thing.
The day of we was finna be released, I stood up in the window and I said, God, when I saw them on the TV marching, I said, oh my God. I said, they love us and they don't even know us, Jamie.
Got my mind made up, only got the hustle, don't believe in love. Used to serve my mama, I ain't give a fuck. Slave to the bus, friends with the clubs, pocket full of dust. But the people that say I won't make it, get a good look at me now. Give me a mic and I'll turn up the crowd. Give me some work and I bet I go wild. Look at me now, I took an L, but look at me now. They thought I would fail, but look at me now. I couldn't make bail, but look at me now. Look at me now, look at me now.
Gladys Scott, and I'm from Scott County, which is Forest, Mississippi. About 40 miles from here. I was born in Mississippi, and Jamie was born in Chicago. It was 5 more siblings. We had 3 brothers, and we had 2 more. I had 2 more sisters. We always used to come to Mississippi because my father was a Mississippian, but my mother was from Chicago. She was born and raised, and so she came down here to visit her grandmother, and that's how she met my dad and met our daddy, and then we moved to Chicago. So basically all our childhood was in Chicago, but we came to Mississippi every year to visit my grandmother. And so as growing up as a child in both worlds, the city and Mississippi, it was totally different because in Chicago, you got gangbangers, you got robbers, and you got all that. But farther in Mississippi, it's more like, it's like homey, where you grow gardens and you know, you do everything. You can run and play and you could just be at home. So we had both sides of that world. And we stayed in Chicago for 20 years. My daddy retired and his mom got sick. And that's how we made it to Mississippi, because he had refused to put his mother and his father in nursing care. He wanted to take care of them. So my dad retired and we moved to Scott County, which was Mississippi, Forest. And so we stayed there, went to school. We was never no troublemakers. You know, we just didn't play. If you mess with us, we gonna handle our business. But farther than that, we basically just grew up with a normal life with both worlds. Because like I said, we was traveling from Chicago to Mississippi. I mean, we had a good child life. This where we grew up, running down this road, riding down this road, and didn't know that that day that we was gonna never see this road no more. It was December the 20, let me see, hold on, let me go back. December the 24th when they came and arrested Jamie. But a day before that, me and Jamie car house had ran out of gas, so we was going to get the gas man. Anybody know in the country, the gas man, if you got them gas tanks, they can come out and fill your tank up and you just pay them in cash and stuff. They come out anytime. So we was going to go to the gas man house to go get him so he can put some gas in Jamie's house, her trailer, because she had just had her baby. And so we got to Minimark, and her car wouldn't start. So I knew two of the dudes that I worked at the chicken plant with, which were Michael Dugworth and Hayes. And so I asked him, I said, hey, y'all give me a ride back to my dad's house so I can have my dad, you know, come and get the car so we can try to go get some gas. And he was like, okay. So we got in the car and he took us down this dark road. The man in the back was trying to finger Jamie. Jamie yelled. She yelled and she said, stop. And I say, what's wrong? And when I looked back, I saw Mitchell with his hand trying to go up in my sister's clothes. And so right there, we stopped the car. The dude was trying to have sex with Jamie, force Jamie, feeling on her. So when we got out the car, we left. Wasn't nothing wrong with him. So when we made it to my dad's house, went back and got the car and everything all right. So the next day when I was sitting and I was doing my hair, the sheriff department said, we looking for Gladys and Jaime Scott for accessory to robbery. So I was in the back. Jaime was in the front behind her son. And so I heard Jaime was getting loud, so I cracked the door because I was in the bathroom. And I seen polices everywhere. So that's when the police said, you come on from back there. So he was like, we got y'all for accessory to robbery. I said, accessory? I said, well, who we robbed? And he said, well, Mitchell Dugworth and Michael Hayes said y'all robbed them, or y'all know who robbed them. And I was like, no, we don't know who robbed them, because when I left, did he tell you that he was trying to finger my sister? He was trying to do relationship with my sister without her will in the back. That's why we got out the car. And he was like, we don't want to hear that. We don't want to hear that. So when we got down to the police station, they put me in one room and put Jamie. And that's when they was questioning us all about our case. Well, they was questioning us about the what happened, and I told them. And so he was like, well, I don't think that what happened. So then he went over there with Jamie. He said something. Well, anyway, it came back to it. He said, well, you just tell me what I need to know, and we'll let y'all go home. So I was like, what you talking about? What you want to know? And so that's when he was asking about my father, his business and what he do and all this and that. And I told him it wasn't none of his business. He needed to talk to my father. At the time, I didn't know what was going on with them. And so once then they gave us a bond about 2 weeks because we had to stay in till after the holidays. And so that's when we went a year later. We went to trial. And I heard the deputy tell my daddy, I don't eat chicken, I eat steaks. And so at that time, it took the jury literally 20 minutes to give me and Jamie double life sentences. We got life for Mitchell Dugworth, who said he ain't have no wallet or no money. The second one said he think he had $11 or $20. We got life for both of them. And the co-defenders, they got 8 years. And so they did 4 and got out. And we got stuck with 2 life sentences. When we first, when they sentenced us, we didn't understand the sentences, because if you don't know the law, you don't understand. And our attorney, I don't feel like he did it right. He did what he's supposed to do and represent us. And so when we got to Rankin County, going through process, they said we got to take y'all to maximum security. I was 4 months pregnant then. They hurry up after they sentenced us. They hurry up and got us away because they knew what they had did. And so when I made it to Rankin County at CMCF processing, they said you got life, but you got to go over there to maximum security. I said, why do I have to go to maximum security? She said, because you got life without parole. She said, do you know what that means? I said, no, what do it mean? And she said, you not going to never get out until you in a pine box. You got 999. And then when that woman turned that computer, I was just like, wow. Didn't nobody get hurt. Didn't nobody get killed. They didn't have no gun. They said we had a gun. They never presented the gun at trial. But you gave us 2 life sentences because you don't eat chicken, you eat steaks. I knew they was going to find us guilty because the jury, the way they wasn't paying attention to what was happening in the courtroom. I was scared. So as we went in there, we walked through the door. This was going to be our last freedom, our last seeing Forest, Mississippi, because the journey had started to begin. After came from trial, they brought us to the detention center where we stayed here a month because I was pregnant and they wanted to quit. The horror of the torture, them coming in sometimes, macing us, trying to get us, coerce us. I mean, it was horrible. And so after 15 to 16 days, when they found out that I was pregnant, that's when they wanted to ship me and Jamie to Rankin County. But let me take you back. When I came here, once they scripted us down and told us that we belonged to MDOC, this window right here, this county jail right here, where me and Jamie did our time until they took us to the Mississippi Department of Correction. Me and Jamie would look out this window and we would ask God why. We didn't know the journey that he had us to go through, that it would sacrifice our life. And so during that time on our first appeal, that's when late Mayor Shugway came in. Mr. Lumbar came in as our attorney. He got us with parole. With our first appeal, we he vacated the sentence or something, but it took us off without being without parole to on parole, which we were heading, which now from 999 to 2014, we would have been eligible to go up for parole after doing 20 years. And so that's how Shugway, he worked on the case, and he kept on. Our appeals was exhausted. They had denied all our appeals. They had exhausted. So our last hope was the governor, which was Haley Barbour. Um, that's when um, that's when everything really started coming together. My mother, she had been writing and talking and doing things on the internet, and so that's when everybody started coming together, and that's when it started getting publicized about the injustice. So after that, I got a call. I got a thing. I was in the shower, and everybody was like, "Y'all on TV, y'all on TV," because I didn't even know they had met. I knew they was in a discussion of try to free me and Jamie, but some was saying that they would let Jamie go and wouldn't let me go, and Jamie kidneys had failed. She had kidney failure then in prison because of the improper treatment they gave her, because she had a leak in her bag, and by her having that leak and them not giving her the proper care she needed, it went to kidney failure. And so when she went to kidney failure, um, they was over there at 720. They don't want to take you to the hospital, so they was over there trying to do whatever they can for her, but at the same time they was making her worse. So then it started blowing all her veins out where they couldn't put the pork in so she can dialyze. And so she was getting more and more sicker, and they weren't giving her the proper vitamins. When you on dialysis, you have to have vitamins as they going in and out, and they wasn't giving her the proper treatment. And so then it was it was December the 28th, my daughter's birthday. I never forget. I was in the shower. I had just got off work in prison. And the girl said, "Y'all on TV." I said, "What?" She said, "Yeah." So next thing I know, I had started hearing them screaming. They said, "You going home, you going home." I said, "No, I'm not." They said, "You going home, you going home." So by that time, they had called on the tower. The tower said, "You need to call your attorney." And so I called Mr. Lumbar. And when I called Mr. Lumbar, he said, "Gladys," he said, "y'all coming home." And it's just like time just stopped. I was screaming and hollering. The day of we was finna be released, I stood up in the window and I said, "God," when I saw them on the TV marching, I said, "Oh my God." I said, "They love us and they don't even know us, Jamie." I said, "They don't even know us." I said, and we was getting letters from Kenya, boxes of letters from kids from Kenya, Uganda, Senegal, saying that they had heard our story. They wrote letters. And from then on, it was just like, my life was like in a whirlwind, because I couldn't believe what was going on. I'm finally finna walk out the door. I'm finally finna go home. How is it gonna be like? Remember, I was 19, Jamie was 21. So the life had changed tremendous. Just being in that time right there in CMCF, it had changed. Because when we went, I think they were doing beepers. Beepers and beepers then out back then. Now when I get out this cell phone, computers, and I'm like, oh wow, the world had changed. And seeing all these people, seeing all my sisters and brothers, believing in us all these years, we've been crying out, for somebody to just hear the story, the injustice they did to us in Scott County, and to see y'all all them marching. And when we came in the NAACP and it was full, when I tell you, it's a feeling, it's a feeling you cannot never explain. Cause for you to be loved that much, and when you thought that society had given that up on you, and it's something that I thank God for every night, because if it were one for my sisters and my brothers and my organization, they didn't look at if we had a record or if we was bad people or whatever. They looked at the injustice of the 2 life sentence that you gave these girls that never had a criminal record. A lot of people thought we was exonerated. We wasn't. He put us on, he suspended our sentence and put us on parole for the rest of our life. We will have to go meet a probation officer every month, pay fees. We've been on there 12 years. They have wrote letters to the governor, Florida have, asking them would they release us. They don't see us no harm or danger to society. We doing this and this and that. Reed didn't want to hear that. He was like, no, I don't want to mess with it. And so that kind of discouraged me, because I know that my sister died as an innocent woman on papers. And I know now that that's what they want to do to me. But no, that's not. We gonna keep on fighting. I'm gonna keep on fighting till my breath, because I know my sister was innocent and I know I was innocent. Through it all, I know God say, you know what? You don't let them dictate your life. You do what you got to do. And that's you keep on doing what you're doing for your community. You helping. And getting out, can't vote, that was a big crush for me, because I pay my taxes, I go to work, I give back to my community. I'm not committing no crime, but I don't have a right to voice my opinion to who have a right to rule our country. That's not right. That's not right, because you have did your time. No matter what, you have did your time. You can't go back there. But why you want to keep knocking me down and not let me raise my voice into voting? Because right now everybody need to vote. The way our country going, we all, whether they convicted felons or whatever, we have did our time. Stop trying to hold us back and keep us locked away when we free. Okay. Sisters of Hope was built on me and Jamie, because we thought with education, because we saw like a lot of ladies coming there uneducated and didn't understand things. So Jamie, I told you, she always been a nerd, y'all. She always been a nerd. But she loved books, she loved reading. And so that's how we started Sisters of Hope. I was like, I wanna help Jamie, but I don't know what I want to do. I said, but we need the help. And so we came up, another woman that did 38 years, Denise. She say, I said, I ain't got no name for the organization, but I want to help. She said, what about Sisters of Hope? So me and Jamie looked. I said, yeah, because it was sisters and brothers that got us out. And I said, hope is the one kept us alive all them years. So we came up with Sisters of Hope. And like I say, we advocate, we do something, everything. We do GED, our GED nationwide. People can go, if you're in Mississippi, you're in Florida, you're in California, you can go on there and on our GED site where you could take the GED. We sponsor, we usually give vouchers out because you have to pay. So we give vouchers out to the ones that can't pay to take their pre-GED or their real GED. We try to help with training, job training with some of the ladies, and we try to help them get their IDs and stuff like that. If we have the funding, we try to help them to get back into society. And so that's what I think keep us going. I think that's what keep me going, and I know that's what kept her going till God took her home.
Got my mind made up, only got the hustle, don't believe in love. Used to serve my mama, I ain't give a fuck. Slave to the bus, friends with the clubs, pocket full of dust. But the people that say I wouldn't